शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद, शोभित सहजानंद, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। प्रफुल्लित बदन बैठे कानकासन, प्रफुल्लित बदन बैठे कानकासन, करुणानिधि सुख कंद हो, करुणानिधि सुख कंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। प्रथम अर्घ जाले पान कीने, मलय सहित सुगंध हो, मलय सहित सुगंध। उर सोहत कर्पूर की माला, उर सोहत कर्पूर की माला, कुंडल अरु बाजू बंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। फेंटो गुलाबी तोरो सोहे, नटवर त्रिभुवन वंद, नटवर त्रिभुवन वंद।
हेलो, जय स्वामीनारायण। चलो स्टार्ट। वर्णिवेशरमणीयदर्शनम्, मन्दहासरुचिराननाम्बुजम्, पूजितं सुरनरोत्तमेर्मुदा, धर्मनन्दनमहं विचिन्तये। ॐ अवतारिणे श्री स्वामिनारायणाय नमो नमः। श्री हरि कृष्णाय नमो नमः। श्रीपूर्णपुरुषोत्तमाय नमो नमः। सर्वावतारी इष्टदेव भगवान श्री स्वामीनारायण, पूज्यपाद शास्त्री जी महाराज, पूज्यपाद गुरु महाराज, पूज्यपाद सद्गुरु श्री देवप्रसाद दास जी स्वामी, all other pious and Brahmanist saints, and all my dear Gurukul family members and alumni. Jai Swaminarayan. Wish you all happy Ekadashi. Today is Dashmi and tomorrow is Ekadashi. So as tomorrow is Ekadashi, so we have selected even today's Vachanamritam based on Ekadashi. Vachanamrita is of Garuda middle chapter number 8. So first we will read Vachanamrit, then we will discuss about Vachanamritam. Swaminarayan Hare, Swaminarayan Hare. In the Samvat year 1878, on the 12th day of the bright half of the month of Shravan in the early morning, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was seated on a circular carpet spread in front of the temple of Sri Vasudev Narayan in the Darbar of Dada Khachar in Garuda. He had put on all white garments. Saints and devotees from various places had gathered before him in an assembly. The saints were singing devotional songs with the accompaniment of musical instruments like tal and mridang. Then addressing the saints, Sriji Maharaj said, "The proper way of observing the fast of Ekadashi is as follows." He narrated an incident from the life of the Lord Sri Narayan Bhagavan. He said, long, long ago, the Lord was taking rest, having withdrawn the 10 senses and the 11th sense, the mind, within himself. In the meantime, a demon named Murdanav, son of Nadijang, arrived and asked for a fight with the Lord. As the Lord was taking rest, a beautiful damsel appeared from the luster of his 10 senses and mind. Charmed by the beauty of the damsel and the demon proposed to her marry with him. The damsel replied that she had taken a vow that she would marry a person who can win her in the fight. Then there ensued a struggle between the two, in which the damsel severed the head of the demon with her sword. The Lord was pleased to see her and told her to ask for a boon. So the damsel asked for a boon. She said, "As I am born of the luster of your 11 senses, I should be known as Ekadashi, and the 11th day of the every fortnight should be called Ekadashi after my name. Again, as I am an ascetic, a fast shall be observed on every Ekadashi day. Everyone shall not partake any food on that day. All the 11 senses shall be restrained from the enjoying their respective sense objects." God was pleased to grant this boon to Ekadashi. This is a story narrated in the epics. Our holy scriptures have also ordained that when fast is observed on Ekadashi day, one must not let vicious thoughts regarding lust, anger, avarice, etc. enter his mind. Bodily also he must desist from unseemly behavior. These are the words of the scriptures, and on the authority of the scriptures I say that the proper way of observing a fast on Ekadashi day is to deny all the 11 senses their respective object of enjoyment. If one does not desist from the enjoyment of the object of all the 11 senses on that day, and simply starves his body by denying himself any food, it will be called fasting like a beast. One should not observe a fast by denying food on one's body and suffer physical torture only like a beast which does not eat when it does not get. Food is necessary for the body to sustain the pran and breaths of life. Sound is the food of the ears, touch is the food of the skin, sight is the food of the eyes, taste is the food of the tongue, smell is the food of the nose, and all sort of worldly desire is the food of the mind. All the 11 senses have its different types of special food. If one desists from enjoying the foods of all the senses and observe a fast, then only it is called a real observation of fast on Ekadashi. If all the 11 senses run wild and enjoy their respective food, and only the body is denied food, such an observation of the fast cannot be called the correct way of observing a fast according to scriptures. If one observe a fast on the Ekadashi day, he must deny all the 11 senses their respective foods. Such a fast to be observed once in a fortnight. One should be vigilant to see that the fast of Ekadashi is observed in the proper way. God is pleased only with those who observe the Ekadashi fast in the correct way. He is never pleased by simply fasting like a beast. Iti para of Vachana number 8, Gada middle chapter. Jai Swaminarayan. Yeah, I do request all our family members, those who have possible, keep your video on, so satsang can be more interactive and more interesting. Yeah, thank you. So Vachanamrut is from the Garuda middle chapter, means Garuda Madhya chapter number 8. Gadpur is a village where Bhagavan Sri Swaminarayan stayed maximum of his life, like 29 years out of 49 years. So there are many Vachanamruts, means spiritual discourse delivered at Dada Kachar's kingdom and palace. So this is Gada middle chapter number 8 Vachanamrut, and this is regarding Ekadashi. So Ekadashi is very well known term for all of as a Hindus and as a spiritual people, but still I would like to ask from any one of you that what do you understand Ekadashi means? What is Ekadashi? There are many questions like what is Ekadashi, why one should follow fast on Ekadashi, what do we get by fasting, what do we lose by fasting, and why one should not eat grains. So yeah, what is Ekadashi? Except Ashish Chaudhary sir. Yes, Chennai Reddy sir. Yeah, you can try.
Yeah. It's according to science also, it's very useful for the body to recycle it. Fasting makes us active.
Okay.
Normally, like when a vehicle runs.
First of all, we are discussing that what is Ekadashi.
It's like in the calendars, all Dashtami, this following there no Swamiji. So every month it comes twice it comes.
Okay, fine. Well, 1 plus, raise the hand. Okay. Yes, Saurav.
Jai Swaminarayan Swami.
Jai Swaminarayan.
11th moon day is known as Ekadashi.
Okay, good. 11th moon day. Shravan sir. Secunderabad. Shravan sir.
Jai Swami.
Jai Swaminarayan sir.
Swami, Dasha after 10, whatever we get, it is the Ekadashi after the 10th day or 11th day.
Okay. If we get after 10th, 11th notice also, it is called Ekadashi, right? Okay, fine. So, yeah, by word itself, it is literally saying that Ekadashi. Ek means 1 and Dash means 10. So, 1 plus 10 is equal to 11. So, in Sanskrit it is called Ekadashi. Names of all the days means Tithi in our scripture or Indian calendar. It is said literally with the same meaning, like Dvadashi. Dvadashi means 2 plus 10. Trutiya, Akshay Trutiya means 3rd day. Ganesh Chaturthi means the 4th day. Nag Panchami, Sashti, Saptami, Janmashtami, Ram Navami. So Navami, Ashtami, Trutiya, Panchami itself says that what it is number. So similarly, Ekadashi means 11th day of the waning moon as well as waxing of the month. So Indian months are divided in 2 phases as per the moons waning and waxing. So 11th day of the waning moon or waxing moon, that is called Ekadashi. That is called Ekadashi. Now the story already Bhagavan Swaminarayan said in brief in the Vachanamritam, how Ekadashi came into place or came into existence. So there was a demon named Murdanav. Mur, his name was Mur. He was very mighty and he was a son of demon Nadi Jang. So this Murdanav was very powerful and very mighty. So he was keeping fighting with Devatas, and sometimes he won either one Devata or 2 Devatas. But once in very final or major fight, he won all Devatas and he over control the complete Swarga. So all Devatas went to the Bhagavan Narayan, and Bhagavan Narayan, they prayed that please save us, protect us. And then Bhagavan Narayan himself, he thought to assume a form or to protect the Devatas and to kill the Murdanav. So Bhagavan Narayan appeared front of Murdanav, and there was a great fight or battle between Murdanav and Bhagavan Narayan. And my dear Gurukul family members, Bhagavan Narayan fought with him 1000 years. So how mighty he would be that Bhagavan Narayan could not defeat him, or Bhagavan Narayan was less powered. Ashish Chakravarti sir. Murdanav was mighty or Bhagavan Narayan was less powered?
Jai Swaminarayan Swamiji.
Jai Swaminarayan.
Obviously, Murdana was mighty, but I think it is also some intentions of Lord Narayana that this is the way that the Ekadashi will be formed in future.
Yes, right.
Why it is also the intention.
Congratulations. Yeah, so dear Gurukul family members, it is not that Bhagavan Narayan was less powered or less mighty. Yeah, but Bhagavan Narayan was intended to have the birth of Ekadashi as well as a great message to all of us and to the mankind. So Bhagavan Narayan fought 1000 years with Murdanav, but nobody was able to defeat it or nobody was able to win. Finally, Bhagavan Narayan ran away and tired, and he thought of taking a rest. So Bhagavan Narayan ran away and entered to the cave in Himalaya, and Bhagavan Narayan was resting. This Murdanav also was behind Bhagavan Narayan to fight or to attack, and Bhagavan Narayan reached before to him, and Bhagavan Narayan was resting. as Murdana have reached Bhagavan Narayan, he started shouting that at Bhagavan Narayan, and he took out his sword or raised his sword, swing his sword to kill Bhagavan Narayan. As he was about to swing his sword, one beautiful lady appeared or assumed a form out of Bhagavan Narayan's body, and along with sword she also appeared. By seeing her beauty and handsomeness, this Murdana was attracted to her. He forgot to fight with Bhagavan Narayan and started following behind this beautiful lady, and without any formalities, directly Murdana proposed her that, are you married or will you marry with me? And Ekadashi said that, I am not married, I am unmarried. If you want to marry with me, then I have a condition. What is that condition? Condition is, if one who wins or win over me in the fight, he can only marry to me. Murdana was ready. He thought that what this lady would do. I am a person and I am so mighty, I am a demon. Both of them accepted each other, their terms and conditions and challenges, and started fighting. And while fighting, Ekadashi had cut off the head of Murdana, and Murdana was killed. By seeing this fight, and Bhagavan Narayan awakened from his rest, and Bhagavan Narayan seen the beautiful lady, and Murdana's head was cut off, he was killed. Bhagavan Narayan pleased on Ekadashi, on that lady, and asked, who are you? She said that, Bhagavan, I am born out of your 11 senses or from your body, and I am your servant. Bhagavan Narayan said, I am so much pleased on you, so ask whatever boon you want. Ekadashi said that, I have born out of your 11 senses, so my name should be Ekadashi, and as I am born out of your sense control and Atma Shakti, so my name should, on my birthday nobody should eat grains and they should follow fast. Bhagavan Narayan blessed him and said Tathastu, and then since that Ekadashi has come into existence, and all devotees follow fast on Ekadashi. My dear Gurukul family members, this is a story, if I am not wrong, said in Padma Puran. But this story also has some morals. See, when Murdana was there to kill or to fight with Bhagavan Narayan, but by seeing beautiful lady, he was diverted. So likewise, when we are attracted towards materialistic world, we get diverted from our ultimate goal and divine abode of God. So we should not be diverted through the attractions of this materialistic world. Number 2, Ekadashi is nothing but the personified form of Bhagavan Narayan's tapascharya, because she, or we can say, the divine power of God. See, Bhagavan Narayan was seated with controlling all senses in rest or in meditation, and this Ekadashi has born. That means when we control our senses in our life, maybe morning time of meditation, puja, or evening prayer, or in daytime according to our convenient time, when we control our senses, the one power, or you can say divine power, gets generated in our body or in our within us. So this Ekadashi is nothing but divine power of Bhagavan Narayan, and so that on the day of Ekadashi, the devotee of God, they follow fast. Fine. So this is a just story of Puran. I think Padma Puran it is mentioned this story. Now we all are okay. First let's finish. How to follow Ekadashi fasting and what different level of fasting. So Ekadashi fasting means that starts from sunrise to sunrise, right? Yeah. So previous day, 11th day of the morning to next day morning means Dwadashi morning Ekadashi to be followed. Or even we can say that previous day evening, Dashmi evening to next day morning, Dwadashi mornings, almost it is like 36 hours. Then Ekadashi can be first level of fasting is called Nirjala fasting. Nirjala fasting means without water. Without water. Even today in Swaminarayan sect as well as in our Hindu dharma, many people are following fast, believing different incarnations and different sampradayas, but they are following Nirjala fasting. Means not to take even water throughout the whole day. So that is called Nirjala fasting. If somebody cannot observe Nirjala fasting, then he can take either water or juice. Water or juice, that is a second level of fasting. The third level of fasting, that along with juice even he can take fruits and milk. That is also called fasting. Then even who cannot do that, so he can take food grains, but not grains, non-grain foods. He can take like vegetables and whatever permitted on the day of Ekadashi. In Telugu we call bhagar, right? Yeah, or sabudana or samba, or Telugu it is called bhagar. So roots or nuts without onion and garlic, and that is also once in a day, once in a 24 hours if we take. So that is also a fourth level of fasting can be considered. And last option of fasting, if somebody is with one time he cannot manage, so even same kind of food, means fruits or dry fruits or nuts or roots or sabudana type of foods, if he takes 3 times in a day, so that is also called, but that is a fifth level of fasting. And anybody irrespective of like any caste or creed, all can follow the fast, follow the Ekadashi. And from 8 years to 80 years, according to scriptures, from 8 years to 80 years one should follow Ekadashi. Below 8 years he is exempted, as well as after 80 years he is exempted. So from 8 years to 80 years he should follow this Ekadashi Vrat, Ekadashi Upvas or Ekadashi fasting. So this is like process as well as different level of Ekadashi fasting. Yeah, there are many benefits. Now as we all are living in 21st century, right? Yeah, and we believe everything with logics and science. So what is the science behind Ekadashi? Anybody? We have even Dr. Manish present here, right? But we'll take him last. Before that, anybody? Yeah, Vignesh Malhotra. Yes, what is the science behind Ekadashi fasting?
There's one and Swamiji.
Yes,
Ekadashi, if you see, most of the Westerners have credited the concept of intermittent fasting, that is 16 hours fasting, because you see the protein accumulated in the body eventually leads to cancer, because cancerous cells are not which are coming from outside, it are just outgrown cells from body, and when body doesn't get anything to eat, it eats cancerous cells. So that's why on Ekadashi, if you don't eat anything, body consumes the cancerous cells and unwanted proteins, which ultimately results in better health, high active body, and yeah, that's the main reason behind the fasting Ekadashi. And also on certain days if you see that on full moon day, Earth and our body has a similar pattern of contents, right? So 70% water and equivalent with Earth, air and fire. So if we see on full moon day, the ocean has big tides, and similarly our body has two big tides. In sense, our body's blood and flesh. So even planetary effects are on our body, and doing fasting on these particular specific days helps us, increase life expectancy in certain aspects and dimensions. So that's the science behind Ekadashi.
Okay.
Jai Swaminarayan.
Well tried. Yeah. Any science teacher? Especially biology teacher. Ajit sir was present. Okay. Manish Bhaiya, if you know something, it's not
Jai Swaminarayan Swamiji.
just Swaminarayan.
Jai Swamiji, it leads to many health benefits like down regulating our cholesterol system, excessive fat, burning out excessive calorie which we take on daily basis because we don't keep counting calories. And according to science and spirituality, if we do fast at least 30 to 40 fast per year, then it leads to many health benefits like nowadays it is also seen that we can reverse diabetes and hypertension and many non-communicable diseases like coronary artery disease and all, we can reverse those diseases, so just with due to fasting. And fasting, we cannot, if we think to start fast, we cannot start suddenly, or suppose doctor says that we don't eat those and these things, so it's not possible us to stop suddenly such things. So it also leads to control of our senses. So the things which are prohibited by the scriptures or by the doctors, it will lead to not eating those things.
Okay, well, yeah, our Manish Bhaiya is a MBBS doctor, so I think we have to trust him, right? We have to believe him. Okay, last, Kapil Tripathi, Mumbai. Okay, fine. Yeah, so whatever Manish as well as Vignesh have said, that is right. Now in our body there are many cells, right, and DNA. But in DNA also there are two types of DNA. I think science teacher can understand more better. So there are active DNA which replicates again and again and doubles it. But there are also junk DNAs. So till today, or till I think 2005, till it was research, scientists were believing and they were claiming that there is a no God, because this junk DNA, why God has created, and there is no use of junk DNAs, so there is a no God. But finally in 2005 when this research took place, and even this research was awarded with Nobel Prize. So Saurabh, is it audible, no? Okay. Yeah. So this research was awarded with Nobel Prize, and so after every DNA there is a both side, there is a junk DNA, and what junk DNA plays the role. So junk DNA don't let active DNA to be replicate in more. As our DNA replicates again and again and more, person's lifespan gets smaller and smaller, or lesser and lesser. So by fasting on the day of Ekadashi, what happens, when we don't take food and these proteins, when we take grains, so grains contains more proteins, and that regenerates more and more, or replicates more and more DNA, and that's way indirectly or directly that lessens or decrease the lifespan of person. And so that on that day even we are not supposed to eat any kind of grains. Even today many may not believe, but even science proves that, and science says that yes, why one should not eat grains on the day of Ekadashi, because, and why have to follow fast on Ekadashi, because when we there is one more reason, as I think Vignesh said, our body contains 70 to 75% of water. Similarly, in this universe also and earth also there is a 70 to 75% of water. So in ocean we see high tide and low tide, right? According to moon waxing and waning, high tide in the ocean and low tide in the ocean takes place. So as in our body also contains 75% of water, so in body also, according to moon and according to science research, between 11th of the waning and waxing moon to 15th, the day of 11th or 12th, the high tide takes place. So if we eat tamasi food or grains or any other food except vegetables and foods on the Ekadashi day, so according to this astronomy or astrology, along with tide in the ocean, in our body also as contains more of the water, even our brains also contains, I think 70 to 80% water. So all our emotions gets high tide time of Ekadashi. If we are taking fruits or on fasting, then we will get all sattvic and positive emotions on the day of Ekadashi and fasting, if you are eating fruits. And this will be a common experience for everybody. After eating, like somewhere in marriage or party or some heavy dish and eating just fruits, we get fresh and relaxed. After eating this oily and spicy and food, we get mentally also little laziness, heaviness, as well as we don't like to work anything, or we don't get fresh mood, and finally we go for sleep. If tamasi food is eaten, then persons gets all tamasi thoughts and emotions, and he think of harassing others or fighting with others or killing with others, and especially those eating non-veg. Yeah, I request everybody to attention. Those who are eating non-veg, it is very, very danger. Continue. So those who are eating non-veg, it is very danger for them that okay, physical fitness or whatever calorie and proteins, minerals or vitamins required they might get, but the emotions are very, very like danger as well as cruel for them, and that's why our scripture says that we are not supposed to eat non-veg throughout the whole life. So this is the reason that one should follow the fast on day of Ekadashi, as well as one should that's why scriptures have prohibited that we are not supposed to eat any kind of grains or beans on the day of Ekadashi. And why to follow fast? That is also reason. When we eat grains, so grain contains more protein as well as more water, and when we intake grains as a food or intake, so it holds and retain water much in our body, and when much water is retained, all toxins will not come out and released. And if we eat fruits or like other Ekadashi food, so when we, and if you follow fast, so that we take water, and that water will help us to release all the toxins from our body, and that will medically also is proven that will support to our health and our peace of the mind So internal and external, both the way it is, fasting is very very useful. If not fasting, even like just water or one time food or only milk or only fruits, so this way, as different level of fastings we have discussed, that way this is the scientific reason or research. And even I think Australian scientists have researched and proven that person who is fasting once in a 15 days, he will not have cancer, as well as he will be having very less chances of getting heart strokes. So today, with the help of science and medical research, it is very well proven. Our Rishi Munis and scriptures and incarnations have said 1000 years back all these things. So why not to eat grains also have scientific reason. Why to follow fast, that is also having scientific reason. There are many benefits, as external and internal purity we get, peace of mind we get. Fasting cleans all the toxins out of the body especially, and cleans the digesting system. It destroys the 90% of possibility of cancer, and it makes our body light and energetic. Now at last, what Bhagavan Swaminarayan have added on the Ekadashi fasting. Bhagavan Swaminarayan said that Ekadashi fasting doesn't steps or stops only for not to eat food or just fasting only for tongue. Ekad, we say upvas, right? Very nice and interesting to understand. Upavas, up means nearer and vas means staying or residence. So Ekadashi upvas means fasting is making us, or with all 11 senses, we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 senses are working senses. We say Gnanendriya and Karmendriya. So 5 plus 5 plus 1 is our mind, conscious. So these are 11 senses. So with all 11 senses, when we stay near to God, then it is called true Ekadashi or true fasting. Once again I repeat it. Ekadashi fasting means, Ekadashi upvas means, it's not just limited or remains just not to eat food, but even food of eyes, food of ears, food of tongue, food of skin, food of nose and food of mind to be stopped. Niraharam means all these 11 senses food to be stopped, and instead of that we have to engage all senses towards devotion, towards chanting, towards remembering God, towards reading scriptures, towards listening satsangs. All devotional activities we have to engage our 11 senses. So by 11 senses, when we try to be nearer to God or closer to God, so that is called true Ekadashi upvas or Ekadashi fasting and Ekadashi celebration. And sometimes what happens, we become like, we strictly follow Ekadashi fasting, right? We don't take even drop of water, means Nirjala fasting we do. But on that day, either we, as when we are on fast, so naturally we feel little, actually we should feel freshness, but when we don't like to work physically anything, so either we on the TV and we start watching something, maybe movie also or some other serials, or just passing the time and waiting for next day morning parana, right? Yeah. So this is not a true Ekadashi. So fasting of Ekadashi is a ritual, but the spirit of fasting should not be killed, or it should be survived. Spirit of fasting. What is the spirit of fasting? Spirit of fasting is that by 11 senses or through 11 senses we should be nearer to God, we should be closer to God. So that is a true Ekadashi celebration or Ekadashi fasting, upvas. So if we do that, then ritual becomes spiritual, right? Then ritual becomes spiritual. Only physically fasting, maybe you are following fast, there is can be considered as a ritual. But if we want to become spiritual ourselves, then the spirit of Ekadashi fasting, what Bhagavan Swaminarayan said in the Vachanamritam, that to be also added, or that should be survived. So as tomorrow is Ekadashi, no doubt in Gurukul all our family members are very well known to the Ekadashi and fasting, but as tomorrow is Ekadashi, so I thought to take this 8th Vachanamrita of Garuda middle chapter. And I know that many of you might not be even following Ekadashi, means you might be eating grains and other things. So even scripture says that on the day of Ekadashi, all sins resides in the grain on the day of Ekadashi. All sins resides in the grains on beans on the day of Ekadashi. And if somebody eats, so sins those who are not committed by him also will be transferred to his account, right? Sins not committed by him will be also transferred to his account. And that's why, okay, if you are not able to fast, it's fine, with water, without water. So you can have fruits, milks or dry fruits, or as permitted sabudana, bhagar, or vegetables, roots, nuts, all these things we can eat, no problem. Even if not possible one time, 3 times you can eat. But it is very much said that we should not eat any kind of grains or beans on the day of Ekadashi. So, and I am very happy to share, there are many Gurukul alumni also attending this satsang and listening this satsang, that every Ekadashi in all our Gurukuls, there are many number of boys, means students, they are following fast. As you know that all saints, like throughout the whole life, generally they take only once in a day food and grains. On the day of Ekadashi, even they don't take any milk or fruits or even vegetables. They all saints follow complete fast. Even at this now 72 years age, Param Pujya Mahant Swami Sadguru Sri Devprasad Swamiji is also following every Ekadashi without fail, every Ekadashi throughout the whole year, and last 50 years Swamiji is following Ekadashi fasting. Many saints are following, but even age of 72 years Swamiji is following. Shastriji Maharaj also till his last breath, even after 80 years Swamiji was following Ekadashi. So every Gurukul there are many students are also following fast, and I am very happy to say that in Hyderabad Gurukul there are 1000 residential students. So out of 1000 students, every Ekadashi 750 to 800 students are following fast. 750 to 800 students are following fast. And last Ekadashi there was a Kshay of Dwadashi. So Ekadashi, the next day was Mahashivratri. So Ekadashi also they have followed, and around 500 students followed even double fasting, Shivratri fasting also. So I think in last 25 years it was first time. So 500 students follows fast. See, this is what this Gurukul culture and Gurukul environment helps to the students to make their life. Okay, today they are very young, they may understand scientific reason, scientific purpose or scripture story or not, but just they have trust, faith in the words of saints, and whatever saints are saying, they are saying for their life, for their betterment, and spiritually as well as scientifically also it is proven. So I request all our Gurukul family members, those who are attending now this satsang and those who listens later, so even parents, students, everybody, that first type of fasting is complete Nirjala fasting or with water and juice, but if not also with milk, with fruits, with vegetables, nuts, but every one of us must follow Ekadashi according to scriptures. Don't eat any kind of grains on the day of Ekadashi. So I pray to the Christ feet of Bhagavan Swaminarayan to bless all of us to understand the great glory of the Ekadashi. Ekadashi is nothing but we can say in one word that it is a divine power of God. It is a divine power of God. So if we follow Ekadashi, with the words of scriptures and saints. So even we do also get spiritual power and spiritual strength and spiritual progress in our path of God. May Bhagavan Swaminarayan bless all of us to follow the Ekadashi. Jai Swaminarayan. Yeah. If anything, anybody have any question, we can take some questions. I think last few satsang there are no